Hello and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon,
Hello.
good evening.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning.
If you can
Morning.
if you can introduce yourself in the chat, your name, where you're coming in from, your organization, and we're going to get started in just 2 minutes. We're waiting as people are still coming in. Thank you for being here. My co-chair Rosa is the lucky one today. She's in sunny California, and we're in cold New York.
Great to see everyone checking in. Oh, Southern California as well. Wonderful. Germany. St. Paul.
We are fortunate indeed to have such a beautiful, diverse, global community. So let's give ourselves a hand. Everyone, we salute you, and we're really, really glad that you're with us. Okay, I think
Okay,
it's
should
time
we
to
get started?
Yes, please.
Well, again, thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, buenos dias, buenas tardes, bonjour. Thank you for joining us here today for our February monthly meeting, which is the forum participant training, a very important training during a very important time. We are all advocates for the existence of the UN. And when you come here, you are stressing that importance. And during these times, it is vital that we engage and continue to grow the movement and to grow the support for the UN. So I'm happy to be here, Rosa Lizardi, co-chair of the NGO CSW New York, along with my fellow co-chair. You want to say quick hello?
Again, hello everyone. We are delighted to have you with us for this participant training. And I guess that we need to know why CSW is important. Why is this training important? We know that despite strong international frameworks like the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, CEDAW, etc., discrimination against women still exists. Women's inequality is still a thing, and we are still struggling. We know that gender-based violence still continues, and it's growing with high levels. We know that legal systems often fail women, particularly the most marginalized women. We know that emerging digital issues are facing women every day. And we know that conflict and humanitarian crisis still exist. And these are the issues that are covered during the Commission on the Status of Women. So it's vitally important to us individually and collectively to host this convening and to have you here with us. So I'm going to turn it over to Rosa to look at the agenda, and then we're going to move right on.
Thank you so much, Pamela. And I just want to wish those who celebrate a happy Lunar New Year to all of those out there who celebrate, and wishing you much prosperity and success to all of us. So,
Rosa, may I jump in? Because you just reminded me, we also want to wish everyone who celebrates the Ramadan, a blessed Ramadan, and we hope that you have a peaceful and joyous time with your fasting.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pamela, for that. So let's get into the review of the agenda. If you can see it through all those hearts that are floating on your screen, if that's what's happening, it's happening over here. This session is going to review the NGO CSW forum, which we organize. We're going to look at the difference between the NGO CSW forum and the official UN CSW. We will be getting updates from UN Women, our counterparts at the UN, for the Commission on the Status of Women. And we're going to review and underscore reasons for attending the forum, and then look at the important work that our advocacy and research group has done in terms of concrete recommendations for this year's CSW. We'll hear from the youth leaders and young professionals, YLYPs, and then we will review the virtual portal with our colleague from HUVA, John Santiago. We'll relay some additional resources, and then we'll have a Q&A. So throughout the training, if you have questions, please put them in the chat. If you haven't introduced yourself in the chat, please do so. And we will try to record those questions, and we can review them and answer them at the very end of the session. So let's get started.
The CSW70 priority theme. And I hate to read it to you, but for those of you who can't see the screen, the priority theme is ensuring and strengthening access to justice for all women and girls, including by promoting inclusive and equitable legal systems, eliminating discriminatory laws, policies, and practices, and addressing structural barriers. So we see how broad this priority theme is. Next slide, please. So we're going to move into the introduction to CSW. And we know that it is a platform for the voices and leadership of global civil society. It's a global civil society gathering that's held in parallel to the 70th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, and it convenes thousands of advocates from around the world, both in person and virtually. All types of advocates, experts, grassroots leaders, youth activists, policymakers. Everyone is invited to attend the NGO CSW forum. It's a multi-day forum, 10 days. It's convening, we have events, workshops, and panels. It's a platform for global feminist dialogue and strategy. It's a bridge between grassroots voices and UN member states, and it's a space for accountability, innovation, and collective action. Next slide, please.
All right, so now we will be looking closely at the difference between the NGO CSW forum and the official UN Commission on the Status of Women. And just to add to what was mentioned before, the registration for the NGO CSW forum is free, okay? So we want everyone to know that online and in person, the forum is free. So we are having the NGO CSW forum because the UN Commission on the Status of Women, CSW, is happening. And we gather parallel to the official CSW. And in a sense, we are on the outside of the UN headquarters to hold the forum. We hold it in 2 locations, the in-person, the CSW, the Church Center for the UN, and also that's on 44th and 1st Avenue in Manhattan, and the Salvation Army building in Manhattan on 53rd and 3rd. Those are the 2 in-person locations for the forum. We organize civil society, as Pamela said. We provide a space for convening, and you'll see as we go into more aspects of the forum after this, how many opportunities there are. There are sessions from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. all of those days. So if you want to engage and participate, learn something new, the NGO CSW Forum in person is a fantastic way to do that. We also host a virtual sessions as part of the parallel events. And I think we are reaching almost 400 maybe parallel events or in-person events of different sorts, and 200 and some virtual. So there are many, many events for you to look at and engage in and participate in. We also prepare recommendations every year for the Commission on the Status of Women, and you will hear more of that from our former co-chair, Ivy Cook, about the recommendations for the Advocacy and Research Group. Now, looking at the official UN CSW, it's held for 2 weeks around March 8th, International Women's Day. In March every year, we know that the CSW revitalization process, we heard about that from last year, and we'll hear a little bit more later in the week at our advocacy training, but that might change the structure and the times and locations of the CSW. But for now, the CSW is at the UN headquarters in New York. The Secretariat is UN Women, founded in 2010, and UN Women coordinates with civil society, with the UN, with the Secretary General for providing the outcome document precursor and preparing also expert group meetings. The side events are part of the official UN CSW. NGO CSW Forum has parallel events. UN CSW has side events organized with member states, UN agencies, civil society, other institutions. During the CSW, in, I suppose, all CSWs except for this one, member states negotiate the outcome document during the CSW. This year, that process is different. And for the first time ever, the negotiations are happening now. You'll hear a little bit more about how to advocate and engage later in today's program, and also in the advocacy training this Thursday. You'll hear more about that, and I'm sure it's going to be in the chat. The CSW requires that Economic and Social Council members, accredited organizations, can register, and only those with the badge registered for the CSW can attend. And that is it. If you have any more questions, please put them in the chat. Pamela, over to you.
Thank you, Rosa. We're now going to take a look at the NGO CSW70 forum. And we are really excited to announce that our consultation day is going to be held virtually on March 8th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And the link will be in the chat so you can register. We're going to have a high-level panel. We have invited the Bureau as well as the Executive Director of UN Women, which, as Rosa said, is the Secretariat. We've also invited the UN representative from the International Labor Organization to join that conversation, because we know that decent work is really critical to women's access to justice, being able to live a good life really is an important aspect. We are extremely excited to announce that our our NGO CSW co-chairs award for Women of the Year is going to the esteemed Kimberly Crenshaw. And for those of you who understand the history of intersectionality, you know that she is the person who did the research, who actually brought it to light. So we are extremely pleased that she accepted our award. So we're going to have the high-level panel, the expert panel, and the expert panel this year is going to be comprised of members of the expert group that UN Women convened in order to advise them on the priority theme. So the final panel, the third panel, will be the youth panel. And we are working with our global youth fellows to bring the freshest outlooks to the priority theme to us. Then, as Rosa said earlier, our parallel events, we have well over 350 in person, and virtual parallel events close on Friday. So if you're interested in hosting a virtual parallel event, the link is going to be put in the chat so that you can register. And you can also register for the forum. We have a link in the chat so that you can register for that as well. We're going to have civil society briefings. 2 will be in person at the UN. The first will be in the first week on Wednesday, and at that in-person briefing, we will look at the process, the negotiations process, and at the agreed conclusion. The second week will be in person on Tuesday. And at that meeting, we're going to look at the UN 80 initiative and investigate that. We're also going to have briefings on Madam's Secretary General, on the Crimes Against Humanity treaty, and others. So please look for our calendar so that you can be sure to stay abreast of the civil society briefings. We're going to host regional caucuses again. And Tuesday at 10:30 will be the MENA region, 12:30 on Tuesday will be Africa, on Wednesday at 10:30 North America, Europe, and Thursday at 12:30 Latin America, Caribbean. And we'll finish off on Friday the 13th at 10:30 with Asia Pacific. We're also going to have conversation circles. And for those of you who are regulars at CSW, you know that they are one of our most popular events. And we're going to have 4. 2 will be on Tuesday, March 10th, and 2 will be on Thursday, March 12th, 10 o'clock and 11:30. And please check social media, check our website to sign up for the conversation circles, and we're going to have links in the chat for them as well. Now, virtual exhibit booths and handbook ad sponsors, we had a really strong training session, and if anyone is interested in having a virtual exhibit booth or handbook ad, please send a note to info@ngocsw.com so we can make sure that you get the information. Once again, we're going to have the wellness space, and it's going to be first thing in the morning in the chapel. We are going to have, and we are very fortunate to once again have the nurses from Minnesota. And if you remember, if you were here last year, they had the beautiful singing bowls and Reiki and massage and meditation, and we hope to offer the same things again this year. We also are going to have AHAM, which is the meditative company that comes from Trinidad working with us. Our reception. Now, I have good news. The reception tickets are now available on our website, NGO CSW.org, and we have early bird pricing. So for those of you who bought your tickets this week, you have from now until Monday, you get early bird pricing of $85 plus a $5 processing fee. So it's $90 for the first week. And this is a fundraising event. So we are trying to raise funds so that we can continue to do this work. We have, so the reception is going to once again be at the Salvation Army on 13th Street in New York City. It's the Salvation Army's headquarters in the U.S. And we have the same DJ as last year. For those of you who were there, you know how fabulous she was, DJ Pre. And we also serve dinner. So you get dinner, dancing, and networking for the low price of $85 plus the $5 processing fee. And for those of you who are New Yorkers, you know that's a bargain. Let's move on to orientation. We're having advocacy training on this Thursday at 11 a.m. And then on February 27th at 8:30, we're having orientation training. And links for both of those are in the chat. So I know that that is a lot of information, but the last thing I want to mention is the interactive handbook. So once you register for Whova, you can access the handbook. It's the mobile app. And it's important for you to remember that in order to attend, attendance is free, but you must register. We're going to have people at the doors who are looking for the QR code that is in your Whova app. So make sure that you load Whova onto your mobile device when you come to New York so that there are no issues with you entering into your desired facility. And that's it. I'll turn it back to Rosa.
Thank you, Pamela. And 3 cheers for all our team who has done an incredible job helping to organize this. It's not just our office staff, but it is our executive committee. And so I want to hear a shout out and lots of love for all the work. And just one thing, if you would like to volunteer during the 2 weeks of the CSW for the NGO Forum, I know that staff will put a link in the chat if you want to volunteer, and we encourage you to do so. So at this point, I want to introduce the work that our fabulous former co-chair Ivy Cook, as co-chair of the Advocacy and Research Group, has been doing, along with Marlene McNeil as co-chair. The Advocacy and Research Group develops the recommendations very early on, beginning the August, September before the actual CSW, to develop recommendations to provide to UN women, who use this to develop the report to the Secretary General, which generates the actual zero draft from the Bureau. So Ivy Cook, can we bring Ivy Cook on, who can give us more information about the ARG, the Advocacy Research Group? And I know some of you are volunteers on this group and you're in this meeting. So I salute you all. You know who you are, and we can highlight folks in the chat. Thank you. Welcome, Ivy. Thank you so much for being here and providing information about the Advocacy and Research Group. And before I pass over, I just want to give a big information shout out about our advocacy training session, which is more specifically in-depth advocacy this coming Thursday at 11 a.m. New York time, Thursday the 19th. So Ivy, over to you.
Thank you, Rosa, and thank you, Pamela. And I also thank my co-chair, Marlene McLean, and also Mariama, who has worked so hard. She's one of our interns, and of course, the whole team. There's a team of us in the ARG. We call ourselves the ARG, Advocacy Research Group, and there were 8 recommendations that were drafted and published in December, actually, and shared with all the member states. I believe that's the next slide, or it's maybe talking about who the advocacy and research group is and what we do. So our process, as Rosa has started mentioning, that at the end of the summer and beginning of fall, we start kind of thinking about, we know what the priority theme is. So basically researching and gathering information for what would be the priorities, and then the recommendations are developed, and then the briefs, actually the briefs are now finalized, and there is a link to the website with all the 8 recommendations. I can put that in the chat. And then on this page will also be, oh, well, it's on there twice. Thank you, Mutia. And so each of those 8 recommendations will have a brief, and the briefs are actually several pages. I think they're about 6 pages or so long. But what those briefs are, if you haven't seen them before, they're very useful because they give UN precedent language and lots of references. There are links all throughout the documents, so that if you wanted to know where it was mentioned specifically on whatever the topic is, you could. All the homework has been done for you already and condensed, and then, of course, we're doing advocacy with member states. And as Rosa has mentioned also, this year, the big difference is that the negotiations are not taking place during CSW. So actually now is a very good time to be reaching out to your governments. They are in the negotiation process as we speak. And actually, there was already a revision. A 0 draft has gone, and now the first revision is here as of last week. And we also will share that in the link, because we do have the draft, the first revision, if you're curious about what the document is looking like right now. And so all the negotiations in the next couple of weeks will be concluding, so that by day 1 on 9th of March, they're actually just adopting what has already been negotiated. I believe I can go to the next slides. Those are, I think it will outline all of the 8 areas. So we have, social, economic, political, cultural, and digital justice, those different justices. And then we have the expanding to transitional justice, and expanding also our conceptualization of justice. How do women define, justice? It's, going beyond the legal system. And also, we added as an 8th point that we could not ignore with UN 80 in progress and with CSW revitalization, that the current, the liquidity crisis that we're hearing so much about, how it impacts our work. We also mentioned, the merger proposal with UN Women and UNFPA within that. But if you want to dig into any of that, please do look at so we have a very brief 2-pager outlining all the key areas under each of these headings. And then, like I said, we now have briefs that go more extensively with, quotes or, with citations and things that you can look at. And now that we do have the first revision, you can look and see what areas we can, advocate on based on that revised document. So I hope that was already, I'm checking that's I don't know, Mutia, if you were also able to share. Oh, agreed conclusions. Okay. So these are not agreed yet, so we have to watch how we reference these documents, but it's an outcome document. It hasn't been agreed until they adopt it, and then once they adopt, then it would be an agreed conclusion, and hopefully we will get to that this year. Although we know that sometimes it's not the ideal document when they do that, but and there have been years when we do not have an agreed outcome. So we will see what happens, and please reach out to all the friendly states who you have connections with. That's the only way we can really influence the negotiations at this time. So, and the training again is on Thursday, the 19th. That's 19th Thursday. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ivy, for that rundown of the ARG and the recommendations and how that kind of works within NGO CSW. I am going to briefly speak about the youth leaders and young professionals. Essentially, this is for youth advocates who are trying to get more involved, trying to maybe be more informed on gender equality in the CSW and the UN and advocacy. So our goals are to learn and advocate for youth involvement at the UN, prepare for the UN CSW and NGO CSW forums, and join a community where other young activists and young professionals can speak and create some like networking and information sharing sessions. So a few things about this space is we have recently introduced the YLYP Community Hub, and this is a separate email from our YLYP like MailChimp email list. So I will go ahead and send the form in the chat if you are between the ages of, I think it's like 15 and 35, and you're interested in participating in the YLYP Community Hub. Here is that form. We plan to send out information regarding events to attend, networking opportunities, and potentially even job opportunities. The next part of our the YLYPs is that we will have a brief session during consultation day regarding a youth panel. So we'll have members of our Global Youth Fellowship, which we've had for the past 2 years, come together and talk about some interesting topics regarding our CSW theme. And then finally, we have a few in-person events during the forum. Our first event is going to be the YLYP social event on Monday the 9th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. in the CCUN chapel. So if you are there in person and want to come network, communicate, and hang out, feel free to stop by the chapel. We will be here. We're expecting to have a few more events during the week, but the schedule has not yet been finalized. So please make sure you register on Whova, and we will make sure those events are up and can be seen on the agenda. I will go ahead and pass it over to John to teach you all how to use the virtual portal. Thank you, John.
Thank you so much, Mads. And yes, that is the hope. Hopefully, I can help everybody here register for the forum and get access to the virtual portal as well as access on the mobile app. So, hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is John. As mentioned today, I'll be running everyone here through the tutorial on how to register and access everything. So, For the NGO CSW70 forum for the virtual portal, first and foremost is going to be an easy registration process, and I believe all of the links have been being shared by Mads and the rest of the team on our Zoom chat, so please feel free to reference all of the links that they are sharing over there. But once you are registered, you will be able to view and see all of the parallel events, both virtually and in person. All of the parallel event managers, you would be able to communicate with them as well as chat with all other participants, view all the handbook ads, exhibitors, see what their offerings are, view their organizations, as well as see any and all other resources either provided by the parallel event managers on their specific events or any resources provided by the NGO CSW70 forum organizing team. For the very first step, again, as mentioned earlier, you must register in order to access the portal, right? So as you can see on the screenshot here, this is what the registration page looks like. At the right-hand side, you'll be able to select whether you are an in-person participant or a remote participant. You can choose both if you're planning on visiting, but select one and then click next. And then it's going to give you a list of questions, right? It's going to ask for your name, your email, some other questions. You would be able to create a Whova account then and there as well, but that's all you have to do for registration. And then you would be able to fully register for this, the CSW70 forum. On the next slide, you will see that you will receive a confirmation email in regards to your participation, right? So it'll have your tickets, but most importantly, it's going to have that download app button in which we have an arrow pointing to it. So you're going to want to click on that, and it's going to also have the direct links to access the virtual portal, both on the computer side, but also the link to download it on your mobile app. If you scroll a little bit below this confirmation email as well, you'll be able to find your QR code there as well. So whether you want to utilize your mobile device or this email to confirm your attendance in person, you will find the QR code here. On the next slide, here's what I have referenced. So when you click that download app button, it's going to direct you to this page. At the top hand side, you'll be able to either download Whova on your mobile app on your Apple device, so on the App Store, or if you have an Android, you can get it on Google Play. For this specific example, though, on the bottom hand side where it says click here, we're going to be referencing what it looks like on the laptop/computer side. So as it says, if you are on desktop, enter the event on the web app here, and you'll be directed to another page. This is the page in which you'll be signing in to the virtual portal, right? So if you already have a Whova account, then that's perfect. All you'll be doing is putting in the same email you used during the registration process and the password that you have created. Or if you have not yet created a Whova account, then right there, it's in a little bit of a smaller font, but it says don't have an account, sign up here, and you're essentially going to be creating your Whova account. Please keep in mind this is very imperative that when you create your account, it must be the same email you used during the registration process. If you don't, then our system will not recognize you as a participant and it will not let you enter in the event. So again, please utilize the same email you used during the registration process. All right, now that we followed all the steps, we are now accessing the NGO CSW70 virtual portal on the computer side, right? So this is what the homepage looks like. Of course, we have our lovely banner in the very middle. We have a little description at the very bottom. On the right-hand side, we have a live activity feed from all other participants for the forum. It's also going to house activity from parallel event managers, from speakers, from handbook ad sponsors, from exhibitors. And on the left side, we have our navigation bar, right? So you'll see we have a homepage where we're at right now. We have the agenda, which will house all the in-person parallel events as well as virtual. We have the attendees tab in which you'll be able to view all other participants, right? So you'll be able to further your networking opportunities and engagements there. You'll be able to find folks who have same interests as you, perhaps from the same hometown, and all those other things. So if you want to do further kind of like dedicated marketing efforts, feel free to check out that attendees tab. But below that, we have our community tab. So within that, you'll be able to see all other topics that other participants are sharing. So first, let's take a look at the agenda tab. On this tab, you'll be able to find all of the parallel events that are currently listed, right? So if you still have one that is pending, just wait for it to be listed. But for this example, you'll see here for 8:30, keep in mind that you'll be able to view all the days. It's just not shown on the screenshot, but for this specific day at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the parallel event that is currently boxed in, right? Before we even click into that, you'll be able to view some information in regards to it, right? So the date of it, the time, the location. You'll be able to add notes for specific parallel events if you'd like to. You could add it to your own personal agenda. So if you don't want to sift through the 400 parallel events that we currently have, maybe more than that, then you can always reference your own personal agenda, your own personal calendar for organizational purposes. But let's click into the session. For this parallel event, we'll see all other further information that is posted by our parallel event manager, right? So we have their description at the very bottom hand side. We have whatever documentation or PDF that they want to share. And on the right hand side, these are some of the tools that we'll have as participants, right? So we can ask specific questions for them to answer. If any polls are created by our parallel event manager, they'll be put up there as well. And we have a specific chat feature for anyone else participating in this specific parallel event. So you'll be able to chat with other folks at the specific time. But you'll see for the parallel event manager, you could send them a message, view their profile, and all that good stuff. See how many other participants are attending at the top hand side. For the next slide, we'll be able to see what it looks like for a parallel event that is virtual, right? So instead of having that, space full of all the information, we're going to be, or I guess we're going to see a specific box that we see here, right? For this one, this will not be what you guys will see if you guys are arriving on time. For any parallel event virtual that is embedded with a live stream, Zoom, then that Zoom will automatically embed and play back here as soon as you enter that parallel event at that specific time. For the next tab, we have the attendees. So like I mentioned earlier, you'll be able to view all the participants of the forum. You'll be able to search by name. You'll be able to search by affiliation, by last name, by specific category. You do have the option of hiding yourself from the participant list if you'd like to, but you would not be able to network with other folks. So it'll be up to you. For this example, I'm a quote unquote attendee of our forum, but if you click into my profile, you'll be able to see what else I put into, like what other information I put for myself. So my interests, my affiliation, my background in terms of education. But most importantly, you'll be able to say hi to me, send me a direct message. And most importantly, on the mobile app hand side of things, when you download it on your mobile device, you would be able to request a meeting with me, right? So if you want to schedule a meeting at a specific date or time, or just like, a quick little chat to get to know each other, you'll be able to do that on your mobile app. So again, the steps to download the mobile app are the exact same as our web version over here. Download Hoova on your mobile device, either sign in or sign up using the same email. And pretty much all we're seeing here on the laptop or web side of things will be a one-to-one replica on your mobile app side, just a different interface. For the next slide, it's going to be our community tab. So any and all topics, conversations, posts that all participants make for our forum will be housed here. Think of it kind of like a Reddit style where we have a specific topic and then other folks are just chiming in, jumping in, putting in their thoughts and whatnot. You'll be able to view all the announcements that our CSW70 forum team will be posting to share with everybody. But yeah, once you're in the virtual portal, feel free to put up some topics, converse with other participants, relate to some of the things that they're posting, react to some of them, follow some of them. This is what, makes the forum, our participation. For the rest of the navigation bars, or I
Excuse me,
guess,
John.
yes.
I've been asked to ask you if you could speak just a little slower.
Oh,
People are
my
taking
apologies.
notes. Okay, thank you.
Of course. Sorry, a little caffeinated right now. But on the rest of our features on the left-hand side, we have the messages. We have like the messages feature. So that's going to be your way to send one-to-one direct messages amongst other folks. That is not going to be displayed publicly for other folks to see. So if there's any private messages you want to share with others, for any questions you want to ask others in private, then that messages feature will be for you. We have photos below that. So for any pictures that you take at the forum or at home if you're attending remotely, you'll be able to share it at that specific feature at any moment in time, even before, during, or after the forum. You'll be able to earn points as you participate with the forum. So again, posting photos, conversing with others, adding parallel events to your personal agenda. You will earn points on our leaderboard and your picture will be displayed there too. So, as a recap, please first register for the CSW70 forum. That way you will be able to access all of the information that we just shared on the website and on the mobile app side. And you'll be able to start having some fun after you follow the steps. If I was talking a little too fast, please feel free to shoot me a DM on our Zoom chat and I'll be happy to help. My email, I'll also be posting that on our Zoom chat for any and all questions or inquiries that I can assist with. But I believe this will also be recorded and posted on YouTube. So always feel free to re-reference anything that I mentioned. But everyone, thank you for listening. And yeah, I hope everyone has a grand old time at the forum.
Thank you so much, John. That was a great rundown. Again, we will be posting this on YouTube, on our NGO CSW YouTube. So if you did think you missed anything, and it's not covered during our upcoming Q&A session, please go check out that video. Yeah, another thing that I wanted to mention before I get into useful resources is we do have a link tree that we have sent in the chat. And it has a lot of different links on there. So I definitely recommend checking it out. It has all of the links that we've sent in the chat. I know me and my team have been working hard to make sure everyone has, had their requests granted on the link side of things. So please check out that link tree. It has a lot of resources, a lot of applications, and more. A few useful resources that I want to share before we get into the Q&A is we do have a few different items that tend to be useful during the forum. So we have FAQs, we have parallel event organizer FAQs, safety and security forms, and tutorials, which are actually out. They are from the CSW69 forum. However, they do apply to the CSW70. Since we're using the same platform, Whova, nothing has really changed. And John gave a great overview of that. So if you're still maybe a little bit lost on how to navigate Whova, how to navigate the agenda, or if you're an organizer that's struggling to kind of figure out how to edit your event, please check out those tutorial videos. They're about, I want to say, 6 to 8 minutes, and they give you a great overview that you can kind of stop and pause and go through each video as you go along with it. We also have virtual safety guidelines and a bunch of training recordings. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat. All right, and there we go. I think now Since those are out, we can go ahead and start our Q&A session. So Mariama, if you want to stop sharing your screen, and then I will put myself, John, Rosa, Pamela, and if anyone has any questions for Ivy and the ARG, we can do that as well. So we'll go ahead and start while I get my computer situated here. We'll go ahead and start with Marta. Thank you so much for being patient, and you can go ahead and take the floor.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm having problems to know if the parallel event have translation in other languages. How can I find out in the agenda which parallel events have translation, please? The online, the virtual parallel events.
John, do
Thank
we
you,
have?
Martha. Gracias. I saw your message in the chat, and I wanted to ask John if there was an easy way to search for Spanish or French or different language parent events online, and then Mads the one for the in-person, if there's an easy way to search for those.
That is a very great question. Thank you, Marta. So in regards to translations on the Huva platform, first and foremost, if you're planning on accessing Huva on your mobile device, then if your mobile device native settings are either in Spanish or I believe French, then we do have some translations for that, but it's only going to be for the navigation features on Huva. If the question is, will there be any translations for the parallel events, whether they're in person or virtual? Then unfortunately not, unless the parallel event manager typed in their information in said language. So it's really going to depend.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Mads, do you have any input in terms of our in-person ones, if there's a search for them in Spanish or French or any other language?
No, I actually don't think that we have that feature. However, I think that this may be a good time to note if you are an organizer and here in this meeting, if you have translation services, this may be helpful to insert your translation services in the description. And yeah, that may be helpful.
And if I can just add that, costs are limiting these interpretation for these sessions, but we will have consultation day with interpretation into Spanish and French, and of course we'll be conducting it in English.
Yeah, I'd like to remind people that there are wonderful apps now available that you can use, and some are free, that you can use for interpretation. So you can have the app on your phone and next to your computer, and it will interpret it for you and give you closed captions. We tried to have it for this meeting, but the closed captions did not behave exactly like we wanted them to, but we are aware.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Pamela. Before we get into the hand raised, I know we had a few questions in the chat. I'm just going to quickly go over them really quick. Do speakers and guests need to register for the NGOCS forum? Yes, all individuals must register for the NGO CSW forum. If you have a blue or I'm sorry, a grounds pass, you will be able to enter. However, it is important that we all have I'm sorry, the QR code that goes with along with the registration to get into the building and also to access the virtual agenda. Um, As for if any organizer has a question about parallel events, please email parallelevents@ngocsw.org. If you've applied during the reopening, so I think we reopened on February 2nd, you have not gotten an acceptance yet, and that is because we have not gone through the application process all the way through yet. So you will be getting an acceptance email by the end of the week, and your Hoover or your event will be uploaded to Hoover by the end of this week or next week. I apologize. So yeah. Allison, did you want to go ahead and take the floor?
Yes, my question, which I put in the chat a couple of times, is during the rundown of the various parts of NGO CSW Forum, I did hear about the artisan fair, and the artisan fair is really important to me because I got this beautiful headdress at the artisan fair last year, and I want to go shopping again. Where and when?
Yeah, of course. I think we may have answered in the chat, but I don't think we said it out loud. So thank you for mentioning this. The Artisan Fair will be held March 11th, that Wednesday, during the first week, from 1:30 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to be held on the second floor in the CCUN. So again, the 11th, 1:30 to 5 p.m., the CCUN will be the Artisan Fair. We had lots of applicants this year and we're super excited about the fair. I think it'll be a good one. So definitely stop in if you are in person this year. Jan, do you want to go ahead and take the floor?
Absolutely. Hi, thanks. Great to see you all again. My question's in the chat as well. Because I'm already a speaker, so I'm already registered in WOVA, and then I just registered, right? And I can't seem to find I saved it in my wallet, but I can't seem to find my little QR code in WOVA. So I don't know if they're connecting, and if so, how do I connect it? Right. So
Great
No,
question.
that's a Go ahead. Go ahead, John.
Oh, sorry for overstepping there. So Jen, do you already have Hoova on your mobile device?
mhm.
Perfecto. So when you're in Hoova, then you should find your little profile picture at the top left-hand side, right?
Yes.
If you click into that and then click on My Contact Info and QR code, it should be almost the first feature down. So if you click into that, your QR code will be at the very top.
Okay. So my contact info QR code. So my QR code in the WOVA app is the same thing. So this thing, I'll do it like that. Does that look right, John?
Um,
That's it.
I yeah.
That's
Sorry,
it.
you're
Yep.
I don't think I can get any
there you
closer.
are. Yes, that is it.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
your video keeps popping in and out for me. So yeah,
Sorry.
no,
Sorry. All right,
you're
great.
good.
Thank you so much. Made it so much easier.
Mhm.
Great. Yeah, and just a reminder for everyone who is coming in person, you will have to have that QR code or a UN grounds pass to get into the building. This is for security reasons. So a volunteer will be checking to make sure that you have that QR code. To go over it really briefly again, you will have the Hoova mobile app. You will click into your profile, and your profile should say registration QR code. If you just show that to the volunteer, you should be able to get in pretty easy. So if you have any questions, please let us know in the chat or you can raise our hands. Bishnu, I'll go ahead and hand you the mic.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for this great information. I have seen this email also, so I think you pretty much answer. Maybe I should wait a little bit. So we paid already and we have the confirmation email already, but I did not see on the WOBA. So you said that you will be adding later, right? My event.
Yes, yes. So, your event I know will be added by next week.
Okay.
And all other events that have not been accepted or added yet, you will get a confirmation email by the end of this week, and it will be uploaded to Hoova if you are accepted by the beginning of next week. So since we've reopened this parallel event process, we have to go through the application acceptance process again. So it has taken a little bit of time. Our inbox is pretty full right now from all the questions for the parallel events. So We apologize for any delays that have been happening in the responses. I recommend again checking out our YouTube and the organizer training if you do have any extra questions on Hoover.
So that means until my event is not added on the OVA, I won't see me as a manager because I'm on the OVA portal now and I can see just as a attendees. So is that the case? That's why I'm not seeing the as a manager or the organizer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So once your Hoover gets added to
Mhm.
the agenda, you should be registered as a speaker or really just like a lead
Ah,
organizer. You'll get an email from Hoover, and then you'll also get that in your acceptance.
okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Sose, did I say that right?
Yes,
Great.
I have a question to ask. I registered in WOA in different activities, but I didn't receive the confirmation in my mail.
Are you an organizer, event organizer?
Yes, I represent the Armenian Relief Society of Uruguay,
Okay, and
and
you haven't.
I represent the NGO Armenian Relief Society of Uruguay, and I like to know if I have to receive any confirmation in my mail
Okay.
because I registered. I'm registered in many activities in WOVA, but I didn't receive any confirmation.
So if you are registering for the forum as a participant, you can make your agenda, and you should get your I guess registration receipt to your email from Hoover. However, if you're an organizer, you should also get an email from Hoover with essentially like a speaker link that you'll be able to go in and edit. If you haven't received a link to edit your event, please
Yes,
email.
I received it.
You have received the link to edit your event.
Yes,
Then you can use
yes, I
that
have
link.
received it.
Okay, you can use that link to go in and edit your event, and then you also have to register with Hoover. That is correct, John.
Yes.
Correct, right?
Yes.
Great, great. You have to
Okay.
register with
Thank
Hoover
you.
to see the agenda, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, a few things from the chat. Um, if you are not with an NGO, do you still need to register with Hoover? Yes, every participant has to register with that special link that we provide. You can also see it on our link tree and our website. My organization is hosting a virtual event. I need to delete a document from the portal. John, this is actually a great question. How do individuals delete the document? Can they only upload once?
They could
Okay.
upload documents for any documents that need to be deleted. Please reach out to me and I'll more than happily help delete them on the back end. Yeah.
So you can reach out to John or parallel events at ngocsw.org. We're both able to do that and to delete any documents. Um, Dr. Usha, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, I am a speaker at a parallel event of my NGO. How do I register in VUA as a speaker?
Yeah, so unfortunately organizers cannot add speakers, I believe. Right, John. So to add a speaker, you would have to go through parallel events at ngocsw.org and we would have to manually do it. However, I do normally recommend because that is an extra step not only for our staff but also for you, that speakers may just want to be listed in the description. And that's simply just because we are very short-staffed right now, and we have, you know, a lot of emails coming in. But if you really want your speaker to be shown, if you really want your speaker to be shown on, I guess the agenda list, please just email us at NGOCSW, or I'm sorry, parallel events at ngocsw.org.
Sure. And the confirmation for the parallel event will be from VUVA. It will not be from NGO CSW. The email you said?
So you should get two emails, one from Parallel Events at NGO CSW with your official acceptance. Should say like, congratulations, you've been accepted. It'll list your event ID, your title, your time, location in the email that you've listed as your back end access email. And then you'll get another notification, like a day or two later, that says you can now edit your event. And it will give you a link to access your Whova event where you can go in and edit any, what's it called? Any part of your event.
Okay, last question. We have paid the $150, but we have paid it from three different cards, 50, 50, 50. Will that be a problem because we still haven't received our confirmation for the parallel event registration? Shall I write to you again on the parallel event email ID with the details?
Yes, please.
Sure. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
Okay. Kalsum, did I say that right?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for organizing such a informating and wonderful meeting. I just download here's your event portal link. So on through the email, I have the ticket. I registered for that. So from here, I will go and enter the events and the programs I'm going to attend.
Are you referencing you on
For
the
the portal
mobile?
link. Yeah, for the VOA. Yes. Download
Yes.
the app now from there.
Yes. Download app. And have you created an account yet? Yes or no?
Yes, I just
Oh,
started for
perfect.
the ticket and I got the link
Okay,
for
perfect.
this one. So
Yes.
now I'm good to go and fill rest of the requirements on the app, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I will start from there. Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions? I'm just gonna take a look at the chat here. Please use the hand raising feature if you do have any questions. We have a few minutes, so I'm more than happy to answer any.
John and Nancy, there's some questions about how to find your QR code on the phone.
I can, if it helps, would it be okay if I join the Zoom on my mobile device so I could do a quick rundown on where to find the QR code? Would that be okay? Okay, cool.
Sure. And while you're doing that, Jan, it looks like you had a question.
Just real quick, I got adding that we can add because I'm doing a panel, I'm hosting a panel as well, so I can add my speakers into my description, so that saves you guys time. And they all need to register for the WOVA online event, so that we can take care of both of them that way. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
so if they want to attend, I normally recommend like everyone who is going to access the building during the forum should register. And that'll just make it easy with the volunteers and whatnot. But I definitely recommend putting them in your description. And that way it's just a little less work for everyone.
It's online, so none of them will be in the building.
Oh,
So
great.
that's not a problem.
Okay,
But I
great.
just want to make sure I'm clear about listing them in the description, makes it easier for you. Got that, I heard. And then make sure that they register for the online WOVA event. Because they're
Yes.
going to be not online. Yeah, they're going to be in person. Okay, great. Thank you.
Great. As long as they have the link, then they should be good. Marlene.
Hi, I'm sorry. Just something that I picked up from the chat. There seems to be some confusion about entering the UN and the church center using our QR codes and passes. Could somebody please
Yeah.
go over that?
I kept seeing that. And Marlene, hello, this is Marlene McLean. She is the other co-chair of the ARG, our
Hi,
executive
everyone.
committee board member. Thank you. You cannot get into the UN with a QR code. You need an official UN accredited ECOSOC badge, which means that you either got it through your organization being accredited to ECOSOC and you went through the process to get your annual badge, which is good for the whole year, or you registered for the CSW ahead of time. The registration is closed, and you have a letter confirming that you are accredited to attend the CSW. And if you come, the registration times will be listed on the UN Women CSW7 and CSW70 website, because they do offer times before the heavy period of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, long lines, wear comfortable shoes, bring warm weather clothes, because it is still chilly, cold in New York in March. So if you can come a day or two ahead of time, please do. I think registration sometimes opens even on the Friday before, and the Saturday, and then the Sunday. So those are the only two ways you can get into the UN. The QR code is only for the church center across the street from the UN and the Salvation Army on 53rd and 3rd, 53rd Street and 3rd Avenue. So I hope that that's very clear. I would hate for you to stand in a line, because there are lines just to get into the UN during that time. To stand in a line to be told, no, you cannot get in with the QR code. You cannot get in with the phone at the UN. How's that? Or QR. Yeah. I hope that's clear.
Yeah, Rosa, thank you. Thank you so much for that rundown. We can go ahead and go to Elaine. Oh, if you could just unmute yourself really quick.
Sure. Okay, good. Sorry. Yeah, my question is, I've submitted for two different kind of virtual parallel events for two different organizations I'm involved with. I should only kind of get one HUVA. Will both of these be listed under the same HUVA, or should I sign up for HUVA twice? In other words, have two HUVA links.
Just one. If you have the same email under both of those events, then they will show up under the same account. So they should just be under one link.
Okay, great thing. And also, let me just ask you, I also add an additional person, for HUVA. So will they also get notification?
Are you talking about like an additional person, like someone has added a person to your event?
Yeah, well, it's you were asked if there was an additional person who would be able to add things, and so I put down the name and address of an additional person.
Okay, so we had you do a lead organizer and then a HUVA organizer. So
Right.
during the application process, if you put the HUVA organizer as this other person, then they would have received that speaker link.
So will we get both, or I won't get it anymore? Only the HUVA person.
Only the
Person I
HUVA
named.
only the HUVA person will have access to the back end HUVA, like to edit your event. If you want it to
Okay,
be you, if you want it to be you, just go ahead and email parallel events at ngocsw.org.
okay, just to remove that other person. I just thought that other person was an additional person. I didn't realize that other person would kick me out, so to
That's okay.
speak.
That's okay. We can fix it for you. Just shoot me an email and I can definitely respond to that.
Thanks. Okay, and what is your email? Is just a parallel events at csw.org.
Yes, parallel events at NGOCSW.org. Don't forget the NGO in front of there.
Okay, well, thank you, Ed.
Of course. Allison.
I am looking for the QR code in my Whova profile. I have a big screen, I have a picture, I have my affiliation, blah, blah. I don't see anywhere I can find a QR code.
Happy to help
John,
with
are
that,
you
Allison.
here?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am here. I am here. I do need to request access to share on my mobile device.
Yeah,
Well,
let me
tell
get
me on the mobile device because I'm on a desktop computer.
Oh, so on the desktop computer, you will not be able to find it within your virtual portal. Please keep in mind that it is only able to be seen on your mobile device. So whether you're on an iPhone, an Android, or an iPad, you'll be able to access it there. But if you are on your laptop or something like that, on your confirmation email that you were sent after registration, it'll be found there too.
Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to find that. But I have a UN grounds pass, so I guess I'm okay.
If it's helpful, the subject line of the email should be, let me just double check, your tickets for the NGO CSW70 forum. So if that makes it easier for you to search up the confirmation, then hopefully that helps.
Thank you. I'll look for that.
Mhm.
John, do you
All
want to go ahead
right.
and share your
Yeah,
screen?
that's good.
Yes.
Okay.
Trying that right now. Give me 2 seconds. It's still giving me only the host could share.
Okay. There we go.
There we go. All right. So, oh goodness, how do I do this? Share. Is there a specific setting on your end that's like limiting what I could share? Because I can only see Zoom docs, photos, my camera, um, and a specific website, not my screen. I don't know if that's a user error on my end. Give me a sec.
I'm not seeing anything in our settings.
Okay.
Can you request?
No, doesn't look like it. Sorry for the technical difficulties here, everybody.
That's okay. While you're figuring that out, I'm gonna go ahead and go on over to Linda.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. I commend you for your patience in all this because it's a monumental task. I can feel it. I have two questions. First one is I'm not taking my phone with me to United States when I come in because I'm Canadian and I'm just worried about bringing my phone. So I'm not going to worry about QR codes or anything. Sadly, it's just the way Canadians are feeling right now. But so I'm going. I have my letter to get into the UN if I need it. So I understand that. The second thing is I'm not an organizer of our parallel event. Jeanette Westbrook isn't here, but I signed into UVA while I was listening to all of you, and I see it's a different time altogether than what she was told. So I'm assuming that the time is correct on WOVA. She was told 12:30 till 2 on her email. Now it says 1:30 till 3. So you must have shifted the times a little bit from one time to the other, did you?
The times for
The parallel events.
those should not have been shifted unless directly asked.
There's a toggle at the top that's set on Hoover that says local time, change to your local time versus change to time of event. So she might be looking at that toggle wrong.
Oh,
I
maybe
did the same thing.
Oh, thank you for that because I thought, oh my heavens, it's a whole hour later, but I'm an hour later because I'm in. Okay,
Right.
that's perfect.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shannon.
So
I
glad
didn't know
I
that.
asked.
Great, amazing. As for if you're not bringing your phone, if you have a UN grounds pass, you should be okay. You don't really have to worry about the QR code. If you are preparing to come to New York and you're not bringing your phone, I recommend printing out the QR code. I think that should be fine. And it's something that you can keep with you just in case, you get stopped or anything.
Mads, there's a question in the chat about regarding a virtual parallel event application. And they want an email to write to. I guess the info@ngocsw.org was not answered.
Yes, info is currently at a high capacity of emails right now. So I recommend if it is event related, parallel event related, virtual or in person, please email parallel events at NGO CSW. And I'm going to type it in the chat here too.
And this is only for questions regarding parallel events.
Yes.
Our staff goes through hundreds of emails in the info@ngocsw.org. So kudos to them. But every day there are hundreds of emails that come in and they try to clear them out every day. So if you do have a question that is not answered here, well, please try to ask your question here so that you don't write to info@ngocsw.org and you get a quick answer right now.
Great. John, did you figure it out?
I figured out a workaround, so hopefully everybody's okay with that.
Okay, great.
I'm going to send in a request to share my screen. All right, so I'm going to present, and here we go. So hopefully everybody could see, but I have a little presentation on what you're going to see on your mobile device once you have registered, once you have signed into Whova, and once you click into NGO CSW70. So this is what your mobile app side will look like. The first thing you will do in order to access your QR code is, I'm not sure if you guys can see my mouse, but you see my profile picture on the top left-hand side where the arrow is. I'm currently highlighting over it. You will want to click on your profile picture. If you have not uploaded a profile picture, then I believe it's going to have the first letter of your first name's, yeah. So mine would be a J in that case. But after you click there, this little bar will pop up, right? And this bar is the settings for your personal profile, right? So at the top side, we have my name, edit my profile, and right below that will be my contact info and QR code, right? So you'll want to click in there. Next, it's going to have a few things, right? So at the very top hand side, it's going to say my QR code. Of course, you will want to click view there, but for your personal contact information, you'll be able to enter it here as well. So feel free to do so. But once you click view, your QR code will pop up as such, right? So it's going to have your information, your QR code, and right here below, use this code to either check in, give exhibitors, vendors your contact info, or you could utilize it as a networking tool amongst other attendees. So if other attendees want to scan your QR code, you're going to give each other a request to exchange contact information. So again, at the very beginning, you'll want to click into NGO CSW70, top left-hand side profile picture. These settings will pop up. My contact info and QR code, click there. My QR code. And then your QR code will pop up as such. Cool.
Great.
And that's after you've actually registered, correct? Like
Correct.
you have to click on the registration button and register, and then it'll show up in your own personal space.
Yes, you must register for the forum first, create your accounts, and then yeah, all of this will be available afterwards.
Yes, and Deborah makes a good point in the chat. Definitely recommend if you want to screenshot that QR code, just to make sure that you always have access to it. If the internet is down and you can't get to it, I recommend it. Some people actually put the QR code as their lock screen, during the forum. And that makes it easy. Even if you want to connect with people, you can just, turn on your phone and there it is. And yeah, you should be able to share contacts. A lot of really great features with Whova. So thank you, John, for that explanation. So we have 5 more minutes left. So I'll take any last questions and then we'll go ahead and close out. So if anyone has any additional questions, please use the hand raising feature or put them in the chat. Arkna.
Hi, this is actually Tejal Shah. Archana, she forwarded the link to me to attend this call. I am a registered candidate for CSW70, but I'm not receiving any email or any newsletter, even though I have registered. How do I resolve the issue? I
Is
think
this
this,
the official CSW or NGO forum?
official CSW.
The official CSW, if you're not getting it, I think you can write to csw@unwomen.org. We do not deal with the official registration or anything like that.
Like, I did not receive the call information about this particular call. If Arshna would not have informed me, I would not know.
Oh,
So,
then this is the NGO CSW forum, not the official CSW. If you go to our webpage, for anyone who wants to sign up for updates, go to our webpage. At the very bottom, you can sign up for updates, and I'm sure that staff will put the link in the chat. Just put your email there and you will be on the list and you will get our newsletters.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yep, thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah,
I just put
yeah, sorry.
no, you're good. I just put the website link in the chat. It's ngocsw.org. If you scroll all the way down, you should see a section that says newsletter sign up. It says, by subscribing to our mailing list, you will always be updated with the latest news about NGO CSW in the NGO CSW forum. You just put your email address in there, click sign up, and you'll be all good to go.
Thank you, appreciate.
Of course.
I needed that.
Any other question? Elaine. Oh,
Okay. Yes, I had asked a question before. Well, first then, I'm reassured to find out that probably by the end of the week, I'll find out about the acceptance of the two virtual events that I've submitted for. But I was a little concerned based on my last conversation with Mint that I may not receive notification. Only the Hoover people that I designated would receive notification. Is that true?
for your acceptance, you should receive an an email. So lead organizers will receive their acceptances. Hoover contacts will receive the Hoover link to edit the event. So both of you will receive an email. They're just different emails. If you want that to be changed, where you want to edit your event, please just email Parallel
Okay, I'll just email you that, thanks very much for clarifying.
Great.
Okay, because I have with speakers who's saying, well, what's happening? And I want the link and I'm waiting for it. Okay.
I know this process is very it can be tedious. However, this is
Give it the volume.
yeah, there's so many.
I can understand why it's so challenging.
Of course, yeah.
It's sad.
Great. I'll go ahead and take
Thank you.
one last question. Anna.
Thank you. I know that this process has changed in any number of ways over the years, but my simple question is, with a UN registration from UN Women, that's the only credential you need to get into the building?
Yes, so to get into the building, you need a grounds pass. We do not associate with UN Women, so or we don't affiliate with them. So any sort of like I guess how do I explain this? Hoover provides you access to the agenda. It also provides you access to the building, the Hoover registration. So you'll be able to see like what events are happening during the day, and being able to connect with participants. These are all like pros to registering with us at NGO CSW on our Hoover platform. However, if you don't
What
want
building are you referring to? You have access to what building?
the CCUN, it's right outside of the.
Oh, no, I know. Okay, not the UN. My question is, I know this is a UN question. They only require one official ground pass for UN women if you're registered with UN Women to get into the building. Only
Yes.
one. Okay.
Anna, yeah, I answered in the chat, but
I
thank you for
didn't
that.
see it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Many people register for the CSW, even though they are registered for ECOSOC, and that's for your records, to show that you're active. But the UN will only give you one badge. And so if you go for your annual badge, you don't have to go for the CSW badge, and they won't give it to you anyways. And why do you want to spend that time in the line if you have your badge already? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for other members that are traveling that are not delegates, that are guests, only will have one UN badge, and then they would have to have the QR code to go into the NGO CSW forum.
Yes,
To
separate.
access
Yeah.
both. Okay, thank you.
Right. So the QR code is for the outside events, the forum. The badge is for the inside events, the side events in the UN.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, y'all. Thank you so much for attending and asking questions. I think this was really helpful and informational, and I hope it was to you too. If you have any further questions, if they're parallel event, so organizer affiliated questions, please email parallelevents@ngocsw.org. If they are any other inquiry, please email info@ngocsw.org. Beth, we are over time right now.
Answer.
What was that?
A quick answer to a question asked by Susan Lee, who asked, can we get our ECOSOC grounds pass badges at the UN pass office during CSW? You can. As Allison said, the lines are long. As Rosa said, it'd be a horrible wait. But if you're not in New York regularly, you can do that. But Susan, be very, very careful, because a couple of years ago, they gave me an annual badge with a brown T, meaning temporary, with the timeline for the whole year on it. So if you choose to do that, double and triple check before you walk out of the building, because I had to go back in and it was a huge mess. I actually ended up getting thrown out of the UN, which was quite exciting. That's a story for another time. Thank you, Mads. Appreciate it.
Of course. Well, on that note, we'll go ahead and close out. Thank you so much for attending. I hope it was informational. I will see you all soon at the forum, consultation, orientation, advocacy
Can we get
training.
the gallery view? Can we show
Of
everyone?
course.
And everyone can say goodbye in their own way, in their own language. Open up your videos, please. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry,
Rosa,
go
don't we
ahead,
want our
Pamela.
slogan?
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Adios.
Thank you.
Adios.
Happy day.
Thank you for
Adios.
your
Hasta
time.
luego.
Good to
Bye
see you.
bye.
Hasta
Adios.
luego.
Gracias.
Good to see you.
Ciao.
Bye.